Hello, welcome to a SkyFactory 2.5 tutorial. This one is about cow milking stations, specifically for fluid cows. They often have very interesting and useful materials. Like this one has molten mana infused metal, which isn't all that great in and of itself, but if it was, let's see, I believe it was you? No. You. No. You? No. If it was molten enderium, there we go, there's that cow. Oh, cow's dead. If it was molten enderium, destabilized redstone, or some sort of fluid cow that had like molten iron in it even, this kind of station would be wonderful because it's fully automated. You don't have to worry about it at all once, well, at least not until this tank up here gets full of the molten material. So what do you want to get to prepare for this tutorial is a golden lasso. I highly recommend it. It'll be great for moving the cow around, and you don't have to worry about it escaping or anything, or getting killed off by the autonomous activators before you have everything set up. You will also need some flux ducts. I'm using leadstone or some sort of other energy transference device. Again, I'm using leadstone flux ducts. 2 transfer pipes and 2 transfer nodes. You will also want 2 item filters. One of them is going to be inverted, which means taking this item filter and putting it into a crafting station with a redstone torch to invert it. The inverted item filters specifically say, whatever's in this, I don't want them, I want everything else. So it's a blacklist, whereas the regular non-inverted item filter is a whitelist. You also want 16 buckets, 7 blocks of your choice. I am using glass. The 2 autonomous activators, of course, and I believe that is it. Oh, and some sort of portable tank or some sort of fluid storage device of your choosing. So this is going to work on a 1-to-cow type basis. You might be able to get away with having more than 1 cow in there. I have not done that testing. But if it's the same type of cow, you shouldn't have too much of a problem. Just be careful that, you know, with the cows and entities pressing against each other, they may escape every once in a while. So what we're going to do is essentially rebuild this, and I am using just a creative capacitor over here. I am actually going to put that there for now, just so we have a little bit of extra room over here. I'm essentially going to mirror this as we build it. So what you want to start out with is the blocks of your choice. I'm just using glass, and the one in the floor is not necessary either, but I want it there. Then you'll want to come inside this little cage and put an autonomous activator facing you. Jump on top of it, place one upwards. Then you want to get your energy transfer, the leadstone flux ducts, off to the side of those. And then at the very top, you'll want to put your portable tank, or whatever it is you're going to be using to store fluids. From the other sides, you will want to use your transfer node here and here. You could also invert where these are, just be aware what these are actually, those are not the transfer pipe, what these are actually doing. The top one is going to be taking out the empty buckets. The bottom one is going to be taking out the full buckets. Also in the bottom one, you want to put in the 16. I'm actually going to grab all that stuff now. The 16 buckets in the first slot, you want to change this to use the first slot only. And right now, these buckets are getting transferred up to... not here, because this isn't set up correctly. Okay, you want them to be in the first slot only, and you may want to set up this first before putting these pipes down, as things can be a little confusing. So we want the back of this to be an input, and the other side of this to be a output. And for this one, we want that side to be an input. This particular side, and the... ooh, I think it's that one. It is that one. I'm sorry, that one to be an output, that one to be an input. So it kind of looks like a checkerboard if you're looking at it at the right angle. Alrighty, sorry about that. Game kind of froze up on me for some reason. With that set up that way, then and only then do you want to put those on there, because it'll be a little bit easier to deal with. And then put those there. And the one that's extracting from the bottom autonomous activator, you'll want to do the inverted item bucket filter. This one at the top, autonomous activator with the transfer node attached, you want to do the item filter bucket. Not the inverted, the regular bucket. Because their goal is not to take out the buckets from here, but it is to take them out from here. But you don't want to take out any of the empty buckets from here, and only the filled ones. This one gets the full ones, but you don't want to take them out before they get emptied, so you need the filter for just regular buckets instead of whatever the molten material is. Everything else should be fine for this top one. Once you have the configuration set up, the right click, it doesn't matter where or how it uses the items. The aim level does not matter. Well, it does matter, but you don't need to change it. Sneaking doesn't need to be changed either. So yeah, the first slot only for the autonomous activator down here is necessary, by the way, to prevent the possibility that, say you only had one bucket in here, that bucket would get filled up, and then it could potentially be used out of the autonomous activator before it could get sucked out. And a lot of these molten materials will kill off the cow, so you would lose your cow in the process. It's why I highly recommend having 16 buckets in here. You could maybe get away with just 2 or 8 or 4 or something, but I just recommend having a stack of buckets. It's just nicer in my opinion, but may not be 100% necessary. Okay, with that, you'll want to get out your golden lasso, because that is pretty much all of that set up. Pick out a cow, any kind of cow. Ooh, molten bedrockium. Let's go for that cow. You can always use bedrockium ingots, you know, here and there. So we're gonna put you in there, and then cover you up with another glass block here. And that is pretty much it. As long as you have a power source going to it, and like I said before, using creative capacitor, these are always going to be powered, and always going to be running active. You could make this a little bit more efficient if you wanted to, and prevent these from running when there is no need, because the cows only work every 5,000 ticks. But maybe in the future I'll do a tutorial on that one. But as you can see, we already have 1,000 millibuckets of molten bedrockium up there, and we still have all 16 buckets down here. And this one's still just chugging away. So yeah, that is a milking station for fluid cows. You could also set this up for regular cows if you get them to spawn in the world. Be aware that regular cows do not have a time limit on the milk that they can produce, so these containers can fill up very, very quickly. I highly recommend only using these for fluid cows because of how long it takes for them to actually produce a bucket's worth of material every 5,000 ticks. Yeah, that'll be it. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have any questions, by the way, about this tutorial, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. I will get to answering them as quickly as possible. And if it's a big enough problem, I may do a follow-up video. We'll see. But thanks for watching, and until next time, as always, take it easy.